Dude must be from South Carolina.
Or Australia, apparently. Did you guys see that? They did it on Skanks, but some woman in Australia, I think it was, got charged with bestiality for filming herself having sex with a fish.
I don't even want to know how that fucking works.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, I was listening to the podcast, so I didn't see the video. But they're like, a fish isn't really sentient enough. Like, if it's not a mammal, can you really be charged with bestiality? To go full libertarian. Steve pointed out to me when Steve actually out libertarian me by saying that animals don't have the right to consent, and that's why bestiality should be illegal. And I'm like, oh man, I hadn't even thought of it like that. But come on, fish are too dumb. You can have sex with a fish. I mean, it's still weird.
It just makes you a gay fish.
Yeah. I like fish sticks. I like to put them in my mouth. They are delicious. What's the matter with that?
Well, that was a hell of a start to the show. I was just playing that because I thought it was funny and kind of at least somewhat went along with our show title. So everybody remembers a few months ago the portal, right? In New York, the New York Dublin portal. I guess that also kind of goes with Dublin. I mean, that's Ireland, so I'm sure there's a little bit of keep fucking that goes on there as well. But they say you.
I'll talk about my people like that. Okay.
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
Oh, what? So they've got this portal in.
Did have
in New York. Well, I mean, it's still there. I've got a friend that went to New York.
It's just like a video feed to like.
Yeah.
To like another camera in screen.
Right. Between New York City and Dublin, Ireland. So anyway, they pull up. They unveil this camera, and I mean, they shut it down within like 12 hours because, in particular because of this incident. So like 3 hours after the portal was open, this chick is standing in front of it just flopping her titties around. Also,
and that's in the U.S. on the U.S. side.
Yes, that was on the U.S. side. On the Irish side, they were making 9/11 jokes.
Oh yeah. That was great.
Hang on, let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find
It's particularly funny because that was New York, so like they're literally like going straight at like see like when just like a European makes a 9/11 joke about America, I mean it doesn't hit as hard as like whenever you're talking to the actual people of New York.
Yeah, it's a different experience, the whole 9/11 thing. I'm sure if you were like in New York City when that happened versus anywhere else. Maybe minus Pennsylvania. Here we go.
This is what they were showing us on the from the Ireland side. So anyway. The portal was
just turned into the internet. Yeah,
pretty much. Imagine that. Like, what did they think was going to happen? I don't know. So, but anyway, the titty chick, she has since used that to capitalize on her OnlyFans. Imagine that. And so she says she makes $100,000 a month now after the portal incident. And she's a big Trump supporter. She is currently trying to use her influence to make $500,000, which she's going to donate to the Trump campaign. And she's going to rallies and doing what she does best.
20,000 people have no hands. Okay, who wants to leave their money to their kids? Do I have any hands? 20,000 people that have no hands. Okay, who wants to leave their money to their
I can't believe Trump didn't spot some titties in the crowd. I mean, no.
I mean, they are way high up, but I mean, then again, if I'm a dude and I'm like, he probably just didn't want to bring attention to him because then other guys would be like ogling them.
I mean,
Like it's like these are my titties. I don't want other guys to know about it. Like, okay, like
let's say, so you're saying Trump's not actually cool? Because that
Yeah.
would be pretty cool. He'd be like, hold up, we got titties. 'Cause if he points out the titties, then there's going to be other, because
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
let's not kid ourselves. There are plenty of
I like
white
that
trash chicks at Trump rallies. If
Oh yeah.
Trump points out that one chick's got her titties out, then a bunch of other chicks are getting their titties out too. Like they're not gonna, none of them are gonna be outdone. Like, he could have made this.
They always get naked.
He could have made this the most epic rally stop ever, and missed opportunity.
Just have all of them like just mass.
You got to think about the Christian vote.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where it was. Well, I mean, it must.
Well,
it had
look,
been in New
we
York.
have Christian whores. Okay, we've already reached the point of Christian whores. Okay,
Oh.
so it should be acceptable. So.
Oh, don't I know it?
Yeah, so there's literally been these like women who've said like I do OnlyFans for Christ, and I'm like, what?
I think you missed something in Christ's message somewhere along the way. Maybe.
Everyone.
Pretty sure he told the prostitutes to stop doing that, not use it to fundraise for the church.
Oh, Magoo has a good point here. The Dems would try to one up and would see zipper scars.
Or we'd have more like trannies on the White House lawn. Like haven't we had enough of that? Let's just can we not? Thanks.
Yeah, that's why Magoo said no thanks.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean if we have more of that shit, I'm gonna probably need to like have some amnesia, or at the very least go into a coma like this guy.
When he woke up, his friends made him believe he had just come out of a 10-year coma. To do this, his friends organized a huge party. The boy then had 8 shots, beers, and a sleeping pill. Once he was asleep, they took him to the hospital and dressed him up like a patient. When he woke up, the doctor told him he had been in a coma for 10 years.
You're in the hospital, and you've been in a coma for the last 10 years.
His friend appeared, made up to look older, and explained that during the party, he had tripped and never woke up.
You fell down, you hit your head really bad, bro. You lost consciousness. So we brought you to the hospital. Yeah.
The prank became more serious when they told him that before the accident, he had gotten his girlfriend pregnant and that his son wanted to meet him. But that's not all. They also told him he needed to prepare because the world had changed.
What's wrong?
This is next level trolling. Like this is.
This has to be another country. Videos... There's no way this. Like this is. This is like totally like, oh, you drug your friend in a dangerous fashion. Yeah, I'm a doctor. I'll participate in this.
Yeah, that would probably not fly in America. That's for sure. But yeah, it would like. Those are the kind of pranks that are just funny though. Like the new pranks that people do are just being a douche. Yeah,
most of the pranks anymore are just like excessively douchebaggy. Like it's not they're not funny. There's no thought that goes into them. It's like, I'm just gonna go be an asshole and let's see how the person reacts. Like, you're lucky you haven't gotten punched in the face multiple times.
Yeah, they're like some
Try
of the
that
pranks.
In a small town.
They're like some of the pranks of the guys that I used to go to that I went to high school with did. They would just like, oh yeah, like they just punched each other in the dick, and then like they're just like, if they caught you lacking, and then they would just hit you in the dick, and that's when shit was on. You know, you're ready to go. Like it's like okay now.
Like a prank has to have some sort of like next level like cleverness. It's not just like jumping out and going boo. Like that's not a prank, right? Or just punching your friend in the face. Now, if you can get a creative way to like make that happen, then we're talking prank territory for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like something there's been these guys who like create these contraptions, like almost like a Rube Goldberg type machine where like they move something and then or they have like a trap set up and then like something swings down and hits the guy on the dick. Like that's a prank and
there's effort.
That's funny. Yeah, there's got to be some level of effort.
Have I told y'all?
Yeah, exactly.
We're coming up on Halloween season. Have I told y'all about what we did when I was in college?
Mm-mm.
So the house that I lived in my senior year of college, we were right on the corner, and like a block behind us was where the elementary school was. And so the buses from the elementary school came down to the corner to the stop sign when they left the school in the afternoon. So we put a scarecrow out in the yard, like had this scarecrow sitting on a bale of hay out in the yard. And the scarecrow's sitting out there for a couple weeks. And then one day I put on a scarecrow costume and go sit on the bale of hay. And so as the school buses are coming down to leave, I just get up and start walking towards the buses. And you hear all these little kids on these buses just screaming bloody murder. Like it. I won.
You've got great scarecrow physique, Justin.
Hopefully I traumatize some kids, and now every time they see a scarecrow, they like just freak out and think it's coming for them.
They can be horrifying.
I mean, you got to have the thing sitting out there for a while, so everybody gets good and comfortable with it, and like, they're scarecrow.
Yeah, this is a new scarecrow. You expect it to be a person in a costume,
right? But when it's something that you've seen every day for a couple weeks, and then it gets up and starts. I worked a haunted forest. We'd put on every year. One of the little boys in the community had like a heart condition, was born with it, and so he had to be in the hospital getting treatment and stuff. Pretty consistent.
We're allowed to scare him.
Yeah, not allowed to scare him. Actually, he was my running buddy whenever we did the forest. But like we would set up all the stuff in the forest, and people would come through, and all of the proceeds from it went towards his medical bills for the year, basically. And we had this one part where it gets like pitch black. It's good tree cover, and we would get all these like glow in the dark skeletons and stuff and lay them on the ground and hang them from the trees and everything. And then I had a glow in the dark skeleton costume. And so I would either stand next to a tree like I was hanging on it, or lay on the ground like I was one of them that was just laying there. And so then as the groups come through, I'd start moving and freak them out. And then they go into a tunnel, and inside the tunnel, we'd have guys in like all black and stand against the wall, and we take glow ropes and like cut the glow ropes and just sling it all over the place. So when they walk in, it's all like glowy and lit up. And then the guys who were
like
dressed
jizzed all over the place.
Yeah. But then you've got the guys who are dressed in all black that have been standing against the wall while we splatter it everywhere. And now they start moving and coming out. So it looks like the wall is coming at them. We actually made a girl piss her pants one time. That was fucking hilarious. So now, because of doing that for years, like now whenever I watch horror movies and stuff, oh yeah, that's how you set up a good jump scare. This is gonna be good. So then I'll like sit there and watch Sean and watch how he reacts. He doesn't pick up on the hints. So that's something like scare the shit out of it. And then I get to laugh. I love it. That's amazing. I'm a little bit sadistic. I really get tickled whenever somebody screams. Like, I love riding roller coasters. Not so much because I'm a thrill seeker and love roller coasters, so much as it just like warms my heart whenever somebody on the roller coaster is freaking the fuck out and screaming.
Oh my god!
It makes me feel happy inside. I love it. but the little boy who had the heart condition, he had his own skeleton costume, and he had a little like fake plastic chainsaw because we obviously had the chainsaw house in there too, and so he had his own skeleton costume and a chainsaw. And so I would go out, like whenever I would take a break or something, I'd go out and we'd work the crowd together. We'd have our skeleton costumes, and I'd usually send him to go like pick on the hot chicks and stuff. And then they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, y'all are so cute!" I'm like, "Yeah, yes we are."
I sent that meme to the group chat yesterday, and it was something like it was like, "Oh man, if we got a few thousand ape costumes, we could play the best prank ever on those astronauts who are stuck in space. You know, when they when they make it back down, everybody's in a fucking ape costume."
like make them think that we're Planet of the Apes now.
Yeah, when they land.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't even need a whole lot of people. Just like maybe a few hundred. Like whoever's gonna be
the first 100 people they see. Yeah.
whoever's gonna be meeting them when they land. Just like, oh fuck, what's going on? Do they have contact with Earth still? Like, what's going on? Can you imagine the balls of Boeing
They
to
finally
go
got
on
back
fucking
now,
strike
right?
while Can you imagine the balls of Boeing to go on strike while you got a fucking space pod like stuck that can't come back because it was faulty? Like, y'all built this and you're going on strike and asking for more money. Like, you got planes falling out of the fucking sky and y'all are going on strike. What a bunch of douchebags! Like, good God.
Thank God
striking,
that
what assholes.
Maybe if we pay them, more, they'll stop fucking everything up.
I mean, all their money's tax dollars anyhow. So I mean, even if you were to be able to convince me to be slightly sympathetic to a union going on strike, I'm scab. I'm team scab. I'll go in for fucking twice the pay and work while they're not working. Fuck them. But yeah, when they're making money on fucking tax dollars, man, my amount of caring goes into the negative territory now.
Right.
I'm like, good, fuck them.
Well, shouldn't Boeing technically classify as a public sector union? Because, like you said, like most of Boeing contracts are.
They're contractors. So this is how they get around it. This is how this is why a lot of times like you're still getting public dollars allocated to private companies. So this is why like even they will say like I'm a private company, bro. This is why the private company bro thing doesn't work, because like what they do is they're private companies. They just contract with the government. They get government tax dollars, but they're still private company, bro. So that's just kind of how that relationship works. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. So
speaking of unions, did you see where the Teamsters have said that they are not endorsing anybody? Like, it was largely expected that the Teamsters would do what they've like literally always done and endorse the Democrat candidate. And then they sent out a poll a week or so ago to like all of the Teamsters, like should we endorse Kamala Harris or not? But it was basically what the poll boiled down to. And I think it was yesterday. If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. They announced that they will not be making an endorsement at all. They're not going to endorse Donald Trump because, you know, they're a union. They can't endorse a Republican candidate because Republicans are anti-union. And yeah, fuck unions. But they're also not going to give their endorsement to Kamala Harris either. They're just remaining uncommitted for this election. Like, that's pretty.
Did you see the other poll? Like they actually polled their own the people or the members of the Teamsters Union, and they were like 56 to like 42% or whatever Republican to Democrat. So they over half of them are gonna vote Republican this time. So
damn, Chase Oliver's pulling a whole 2% with them, huh?
Look, you get a couple of you get
I know
the autist, you know,
margin of error or whatever, yeah. exception
I
to prove
actually
the
think
rule kind of thing.
Probably no, they probably go in Jill Stein. Okay, if they're in a union,
Oh,
they're probably going to
that's
go for
fair.
Jill Stein.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, we talked about that. You said she's running, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Again.
Oh, what was the state that Nevada? So I don't know if where we were talking about this. Nevada Supreme Court had said that Jill Stein would have to be removed from the ballot in Nevada because because the Green Party didn't file their paperwork right. But now it's gone to appeal because it turns out the Nevada Secretary of State sent the Green Party the wrong paperwork whenever they were putting in their petition to file and everything. The Secretary of State sent the wrong paperwork. So they filed the paperwork that they were provided by the Secretary of State, but it was the wrong paperwork. So the Nevada Supreme Court, probably in appeals, the Nevada Supreme Court is going to have to go back on that decision to remove Jill Stein because technically she did, or, technically the Green Party did what the Secretary of State told them that they needed to do to get her on the ballot. It just happened that the Secretary of State told them the wrong thing. So they're probably going to end up putting her back on the ballot. Hopefully. I mean, that would be a huge win for democracy.
That's hilarious. That's it's like there's got to be like a term for that, like the bureaucrat's paradox. Like I have to enforce that she sent the wrong paperwork, but I sent them the wrong paperwork. Does not compute. Boom, and their head explodes or something. Because now a rule has to be broken. They already broke a rule, but they have to break another rule now to set it right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I broke I did the wrong thing. Like because they believe that they're never wrong. So then they're like, I followed the rule. I sent them the paperwork, but it was the wrong one. So I didn't follow the rule right. So
yeah, but I can't fault them, even though they clearly sent me the wrong paperwork. What the fuck? Oh God! Oh, good.
Dude,
Fuck
This
'em.
is government at its best. Like, this is peak government functionality, right?
And now it's still costing the taxpayers yet way more for their stupid bureaucratic fuck up.
Right. It's insane.
Good.
Beautiful.
Fuck it all.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's all... I'm not a collapsitarian, but there are some days I'm just good. I'm glad it's disintegrating. Fuck it. Fuck them all.
Well, that's probably what Springfield, Ohio is probably not banking on right now because
that sucks. But we have more news.
Ohio Haitian community leader argues America should be an open country for everybody.
No.
Is he the one bringing them over?
Yeah.
Do we know how they're like getting here? Like, if a bus pulled up and dropped off that many, like, do we know like how that happened? Like, because that's not just some people floating over on a door and then hiking, making a treacherous hike through fucking Mexico, and then chartering a bus. Like, that's not how they got there. Like, somebody did that.
So they stopped. Yeah. They stopped at the, either. Typically, they get stopped at either customs or the Mexican border, and then what's been happening is that they've kind of accumulated some of them, and they've all filed refugee status, right, or asylum status, whatever. They're claiming to be asylum seekers from Haiti because Haiti is a shithole country. We know this.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Well, that also
I understand wanting to leave.
The whole asylum seeking thing came after the what was it, earthquake or hurricane or whatever that did so much damage. But it's like, and then after that happened, then they had the political upheaval, and you had the literal warlords, and the cannibalism stuff was going on and everything like that. And it's like, okay, but like, y'all are on the same island, literally on the same island as the Dominican Republic, and we don't have people coming from the Dominican Republic seeking like asylum and refugees because of this like disaster that happened. So like, why the fuck do we have Haitians? And also all of the political upheaval and everything, like, that's your own fucking fault. Like y'all did that. You literally ran off your masters and your overlords and decided that you were going to run shit yourself. And
without a plan.
Every time throughout the entire history of Haiti, when white people haven't been in charge, this is exactly what it devolves into. Like when the French were running it, it was fine, and then they ran the French off, and it turned into a shithole. And then America came in and kind of did some shit for a while.
Hillary Clinton,
There was massive, horrible slavery, but that's.
When America came in and kind of was running things to some extent for a while, and then they got pissed off about that and ran the Americans off and went back to running it themselves, and then it became a shithole again. It's like, maybe y'all aren't suited to. I mean, what is it? The average IQ on the island or in Haiti is like 67.
68.
Yeah.
Excuse. 68.
It's really rough.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, come on, Justin, you fucking racist. God, give him some credit here.
The magic number.
Oh fuck. Yeah, man. It's pretty rough there.
Interaction like somebody said like was posting. It actually was Jeremy Kaufman that said like it's 67, and then someone showed him like an actual like okay here's an updated chart. It's actually 68, and so he was like, well, since I'm a fellow
fact check,
internet
motherfucker.
autist. Yeah, he's like, since I'm a fellow internet autist, yeah, 68.
Like, what's the margin of error on that? I've been looking at
So here's my favorite quote for this article. Before we get sidetracked, this is why in this nonprofit we work on implementing a cross-cultural education to put on some events to help Americans understand our culture. We have this kind of Q&A from time to time with American friends and trying to see if we can implement more programs to educate the American friends that we have here. We also have programs to educate Haitians about American culture and what they should do to integrate in the community.
Yeah, I don't think they care about that. They don't seem to be interested.
So how they get from Haiti to Mexico? I guess then that's my big question. And then it's just like, is this like like at the beginning of Scarface when they talk about the Cuban? They're like, we're going to take all these Cuban refugees, and Cuba's like, oh great, so they just load up all their worst fucking people and criminals and send them over as like refugees, right?
Yes.
To just sort of purge their shit. So is this even like, did Haiti just say, all right, let's get the fucking worst of the worst? Like, what the fuck?
Well, Venezuela's doing that.
Venezuela
is literally doing that. Like Haiti's probably doing that, but Venezuela literally they cleared out all their jails, like all the prisons, like every single prison. They cleared everybody out of the prisons. They said they put them on a boat and then shipped them to Mexico and immediately. Said, hey, go to Mexico, go to America. We're gonna get you. They have a whole network to get them there. And they said, you're gonna go to America, have fun in America. It's freedom, blah blah blah. Get out of here. We don't want you. So.
That's a real drag, man. Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Like especially like the fucking island countries and shit down there. Like they get a lot of and I mean, I'm sure this must, if there was any in Haiti, happened a long time ago. But like the brain drain kind of thing, where like some of them are actually very smart, industrious, but they're the ones who come here but on their own, because they manage to do that, and then they run our hotels and mechanic shops apparently now.
Mechanic
and that's what I'm
shops.
dude, I don't give a fuck where someone's from. Like if you have skills and you come and you fucking work and you're productive, I don't give a fuck. At that point I'm open borders. But like I said before, whatever this shit is that's happening isn't that. And dare I admit, I think it's dangerous.
Well, I like that dude was talking about trying to educate Americans about Haitian culture. Didn't we play the video and look at the article where after the whole eating the dogs, eating the cats thing came out, and then there was videos that were showing that was actually happening, that maybe not in Springfield exactly, but there are towns near, surrounding that's literally happening in. And so then there was an article that came out in there was an article that came out in the Independent or something. It was actually that's part of their culture. And then it goes on to detail how that's part of the voodoo devil worship stuff that they do. And that's just normal day-to-day stuff for them. And it's you realize that's worse, right? If they were just eating the dogs and cats for sustenance, it's that's fucked up. But other countries don't, think of pets the same way as we do, but they're doing it for their voodoo practices. Like, you're trying to win us over with this? What? That's
like say use the term religious practices, not voodoo practices. Like at least if you're gonna pitch that as the idea, it's it's their religious practices. Then it's like, oh well, religious freedom or something. But when you use the word voodoo, like that doesn't sell.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a little like you're still not gonna have a stigma because you're killing something to.
Sure, I'm not saying it's not still weird, but I'm just saying from a sales perspective. I mean, that's what that article is. They're trying to convince you of something.
It's a pitch.
Yeah, so use the unless they did say religious and Justin was just being the realist, conveying the idea.
The word voodoo was used at least once in the article.
Yeah. So you don't do that. I mean, come on, that's day one stuff. Religious practices. And we're okay, religious is a religious thing. We talked about the witch bottles on the show a while back.
Too. Like they're traditional. Like
well, look, man. I mean, there's voodoo shit in certain places in the U.S. and we're comfortable with it, but you just don't go to that part of New Orleans. Like it's just that's it's and again, I'm fine with. I mean, do whatever people's weird shit is, just keep it in your place.
Come back.
Yeah. I cannot go to that part of Louisiana if I don't want to experience weird voodoo shit. You know what I mean? And if I want to, because I'm a spooky girl, then I can go fucking visit that shit and go to the voodoo store. Oh, what was that movie with the voodoo stuff I watched recently? I don't know. Something. But we talked about the witch bottles on the show a while back that wash up in like the Everglades. And they come from
Haiti.
From somewhere down there. Yeah, Haiti, and just a lot of the islands down there in general have some. I mean, dude, there's in fucking Appalachia. Like, if you go to you go up in the attics of old fucking houses, you'll find witch bottles up there too, because they're and they're all into fucking witch shit, or at least used to be. But yeah, it's a common thing in a lot of places. Fucking Europe, fucking Ireland had a lot of that shit too.
I was gonna say the stuff that you find in Appalachia, that's like the Scotch-Irish heritage of the
exactly.
That stuff to ward off the fairies and that it comes from the pagan histories and traditions and stuff. I've done quite a bit of research on that. Come to find out that my family ancestry and history in Scotland was there were a bunch of pagan murderous heathens and
this explains Justin's behavior.
The Clan Campbell was not very well liked during peacetime. Everybody wanted to be friends and on the side of Clan Campbell during wartime because they were going to go murder, rape, and pillage everyone and everything. But you didn't want to be anywhere near them during peacetime because they were still going to go rape, pillage, and murder everything that they could find. So you want them around when you can point them at a tangible enemy. But if there's not an enemy, they're just everybody's the enemy then. So
yeah, you got to keep them. You got to keep them like in like a large open air prison until you need them. You guys just live in here, and then we'll let you out for some fun every now and then.
Yeah, that was my family in Scotland. It was like, okay, y'all just stay the fuck over there, and whenever there's a war, we'll come get you.
Yeah. Then we'll give you 4 of our finest daughters, or however trade worked back then.
Yeah, I'm sure. We'll give you.
You know what? That kind of brings me to something I've been wanting to talk to you guys about. Are you guys familiar with the show? I'm sure you're familiar with the show Family Feud. But are you familiar with Family Feud from the 70s with Richard Dawson?
Yes.
As the host?
Yes.
And the kissing?
Wait, which?
It was like a whole thing. So Pluto has a Family Feud channel, and they play just nonstop this old Family Feud. Except for an hour a day, they play the one from the 80s. But the one from the 70s with Richard Dawson. He's great. He's hilarious. It's funny. We watch it. Like it's a background in our house, like most of the time now. But he had this thing where he would kiss all the women, and they made jokes about it on like Family Guy and shit like that. European Vacation. They got the vacation.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow, but like it's just the most incredible thing, dude. Because it'll be like a dad, right? And he's like a big tough guy or some Southern guy or he's a cop or whatever. And oh yeah, we love you, Richard, and you know, and this is my wife and my beautiful daughters. And Richard goes down the line and kisses each and every one of them on the fucking lips. Like,
Oh my
and
god.
they might not be 18. He'll go down the line and kiss them on the fucking lips, dude. And then the dad's like, "Oh, we love you so much, Richard. Here's something I made for you in my wood shop." Like, they give him a gift. And it's just like the most bizarre, like, cucky thing, but like it's kind of like sweet. And I guess at one point people were like, "Oh, that's gross," or "He shouldn't do that." So he took like a poll on the show, and like, do you guys want me to keep doing the kissing?
Family Feud fashion.
Yeah, right. Dang it, we surveyed 100 people if they wanted me to keep doing the kissing, and it was like overwhelmingly yes, we love it. And of course, the people who come on the show know about the kissing, and these women are like, these women are thinking about Richard Dawson while they're fucking their husband that night, dude. It is like the looks on these women's faces, like, biting the lower lip and shit. "Hi, Richard." Like it's fucking crazy, dude.
Wave.
Yeah, but it's like, it's sweet. Like, I guess, like, it's, I don't know, but like, no way you can do it today, And then I'm thinking he's just spreading herpes far and wide, He's got to have herpes at this point.
Oh yeah, he's
Now, this isn't to be confused with Richard Dawkins, the atheist guy. They're different people. I had to look it up to make sure. I'm like, I swear I know that name, Richard Dawson, from something else, but that's Richard Dawkins is the atheist. Got any clips or anything? No, nothing.
Yeah, those old Family Feuds are hilarious.
Yeah, dude, he's funny, and sometimes you can tell he's fucking drunk.
Yeah, how to get this.
There's like rules, like on time, but he'll just let them. No, go if they're hot. He'll be like, "No, go ahead. You go ahead. Give us your answer. I don't care if the buzzer went off. Fuck them." You go ahead and give us your answer. And then the ugly chick, he's like, "Well, that's it."
30 Chuck Barrett $1,000. Here, Carrie is in the audience.
Yeah, that's him.
You're leaning. Hi, Connie.
Hello.
There we go.
I told you I was easy. What would I want to know about you? What was your birthday?
April 25th.
Let me think.
Oh yeah, you can see the look in her eyes.
Oh yeah, she was excited about that.
Zibun.
Taurus.
Dude, they're in love with
I have
him.
a message for people. Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Taurus.
Yes.
I have a message for. How are you?
Pretty good.
Corpus Christi.
Yeah, this is. I mean,
You got a little frog on you. Is that? Oh no, an
No,
alligator.
that's a lizard.
Lizard?
Alligator.
All right. Well,
yeah, dude, he's swooning them. Like that's.
Yeah, dude, he's I mean, we love him. I mean, it's great. I'm not like trying to say this as like a dig to him. But it is like bizarre in some ways, I guess, especially when you really look at it like, in the way I stated it. "Come kiss all my beautiful daughter." They're like, "Oh man, aren't you just gorgeous?" It's nuts, dude. But
I mean, if he's gonna give you a lot of money, like if you're winning, like.
Yeah. He even kisses the black ladies. That was when we first started watching this. They had a black family. We're like, "Oh my God, is he gonna kiss the black chick?" And he does. He kisses them all. Some of the guys would be funny, be like, "What, Richard, no kiss?" And he's like, "Oh, you."
See, that would be funny, to just like mess with him like that.
Speaking of somebody who seemed to be angling for a little kiss, let's play the clip.
I would like to also enter into the record a screenshot of a text message I received from the esteemed professor from Vanderbilt, Michael Eric Dyson, after my CNN interview, begged me for photos. He says, after calling me racist on CNN, don't tell anybody, we look good together, and sent me a kissy emoji.
without
Then
objection.
the guy
Order.
says I'm gorgeous in all these photos. I don't think he's that bent out of shape on how anyone pronounces Kamala. And if we're going to have that standard, you got to hold it to both sides, not just one or the other.
That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said
that
you
is
weren't a
BS.
racist.
That is
No,
complete.
you don't have
BS.
to intend racism
No,
to
no. You are
accomplish it.
intending that
Your
I'm
disrespect.
racist. and that
I can
is-
see the sexual tension. Okay, I can see the sexual tension.
It's offensive, and it's
Why can't you
it's
just?
offensive.
Why
That
can't
is
you calling you?
Look, just go in the back room, get it done, and
Let's get on with the world.
Sending her kissy emojis and saying how gorgeous she is while calling her a racist. Got to put on that good black man public face, and then afterwards, and he's all about the white woman.
Oh, he's got that racist kink. That's all. Yeah. He's like, oh, you racist, ain't you, girl? Yeah, you hate me. Yeah. Dude, I bet you. I bet you. There's plenty of girls out there who would, play into that.
I
They're crossing that
heard.
line.
I have heard of guys, some white guys that were like, yeah, these black chicks. Like, if you're ever a white guy and you date black chicks, like a lot, like there's a lot of them out there that just they want you to call them everything.
Put me in a house slave dress and just go to town.
Yeah, no, legit. That's legit.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, hey, man, the other thing, girls in general like safe danger, in that regard. So, the pulling the hair and the such. Dating white rappers,
All right, so
safe danger.
So
yeah, I mean that's why they braid, wear them big braids, right? So they can get, the guys can get a good grip
Okay,
on it.
I got a question I've been wanting to pose to you guys. The song "Body Like a Back Road" by Sam Hunt, is that about fucking chunky bitches or is that about fucking black bitches? Because I listened to the song and I feel like it could apply to either. I mean, they can be a little curvier. Talks about she lives on the south side. She's got braids in her hair. She wasn't one to give them digits.
It could also be like a thick white trashy
White
girl.
trash.
A lot,
Yeah.
a lot of times they usually are on the south. It's either the south side or the west side, and a lot of times they put those like fake ass braids in, like the blue ones and shit. And
yeah, especially trailer. They might wear the hoop earrings even though they're white. Yeah. That sounds trailery. Yeah, I've been listening to the song on repeat for weeks now, trying to figure out which one of those are the options, but I haven't been able to crack it yet.
Thick Tua. Oh, God.
I had to click over to the comments. Oh shit.
So who do you like better, Nancy Mace or Anna Paulina Luna?
I don't know what either of those are.
Nancy Mace was the chick that was just talking. Let's see. Hang on, I get you some. Hang on, I get you some pictures of both of them. You can make your decision.
I would say Anna, but then again, it's like, what is she gonna look like in like 5 years? She's probably
gonna. You saying
that Latina?
Saying that Latinas kind of tend to blow up a little bit.
Yeah, they start getting too thick. The big booty Latina is fine as long as they're not All
right, Dag. Here's you some Anna Paulina Luna.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not bad.
Here's you some Nancy Mace. I don't know. I guess this one's going to be dependent. Like she's very business professional. Like that does it for Jim, but I don't know how you feel about that. Jim's like,
I like the business professional look, but the business professional personality is tough.
Yes, there we go. Yes.
Like a pencil skirt or something. Oh Jesus, a pantsuit. No, that's gross. But like the business skirts and stuff. Yeah, man, that's hot.
And that looks
actual businessy woman.
Okay. Yes. If we're talking about current boners, then yes, obviously Anna. Like that's the clear winner.
But I like the forward-thinking mindset there. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you got to think about, especially if you were gonna do something, it's like See, this is what we need to be teaching. This is what we need to be teaching the young men, like about dating and stuff like that. Look, what is she gonna look like in 5 years? Is she gonna, okay? She gonna have a fall off. She's gonna be like 30 pounds overweight.
And we need to be teaching
think,
them.
Think with your mind,
we-
not always. Like think half mind, half dick, not all dick. Okay, don't just.
we need to
think
start
with
teaching the women too that if we want to worry about Latinos coming for their job, or Latin people coming for their jobs, it's the women coming for the housewife jobs.
Oh, there was that
better step up their cooking and
Colombian
cleaning.
nanny. Oh, there was the
Yeah.
Colombian nanny. Hold on, let me see this.
What
Who's
Colombian
that
nanny? Arnold Schwarzenegger's nanny?
Who's that
No,
one chick that's running for? She's running for like a state Congress position in. I want to say it's in Missouri. And like all of her ad campaigns are like, "Don't be gay, don't be a faggot." She's always got like a
Forget her
gun.
name.
and
She's annoying, kind of. Though.
She's funny as hell.
No.
So this has been making the rounds, and it's been pissing a lot of women off because they're like, oh my god, who would like why would you let, like, especially like as the wife, because this guy's married, he has a kid here, and the nanny is this Colombian nanny or whatever, and she's average, like, or a little above, slightly above average looks, I guess it was what I'm saying. But they were like so intimidated by this chick. They were like, oh my god, I would never let that like near my husband, because then I would lose my husband or whatever.
Este es nuestro primer año oficial juntos. Sí, papá. Si no estás aquí. Juntos. Un niño grande y fuerte. No eres un bebé. Ay, no lo puedo creer.
Si quieren que les enseñe cómo hago el pudín de chía, les puedo hacer la receta. Es fácil y es delicioso y es saludable. ¿Cierto?
Hey, I know that word. I've heard that on Dora the Explorer.
Vamos a celebrar que estamos en nuestro primer año, ¿cierto?
Can you say map? Map. Fucking map.
Backpack.
Mochila?
Cheers.
I mean, he just sounds like a native. Like he's just.
This
speaking
little white
it.
boy gonna speak Spanish better than he speaks English.
Yeah.
Dude, growing up,
they're going to the Mexican restaurant. He's getting chicken fingers.
Dude, having the opportunity to grow up and actually be bilingual is like baller though. Like that's a big advantage.
Yeah, it is.
Like I know dudes who have like Mexican wives or some shit, and like, and I'm like, oh, dudes, you must be good at Spanish. And like, no, I don't speak Spanish. I'm like, if you have like a Mexican wife or girlfriend or whatever, Spanish speaking, sorry, it doesn't have to be Mexican. If you have a Spanish speaking like wife or girlfriend, how are you not like, okay, only speak to me in Spanish? Like, teach me fucking Spanish, because like immersion's the best way, to just have like a full-time fucking Spanish tutor living with you and not take advantage of that, at least to not be able to speak some Spanish. That's insane. And I know I've got my neighbor, she's Mexican, and she's like, yeah, my kids don't, like, I try to talk to my kids in both, and they don't want to, like, they're like, no, that's like dorky to like learn Spanish or some shit to them. And I'm like, that's fucking insane. Like, that's so crazy to me, When I was a kid, I thought that the kids who could speak 2 languages were like cool as fuck. Like, holy shit, that's amazing. Are you from the fucking circus? You can speak 2 languages? That's nuts.
Katie's taking Spanish. The Smart Kids school, they require them to do 4 years of a foreign language. I was like, shit, I did 2 years of a foreign language. That was my 8th and 9th grade, and I never thought about it again. Like,
Did you do Spanish?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It always weird. I never understood why people took French. I was like, we're in America. Like, it's gonna be English or Spanish, right? Like, that's the useful one.
And my cousin was the French teacher, and you're like, oh, take French. You can join the French club, and we take a trip to France.
Gay. Ugh.
Fuck all that.
God. That's so gay. The French club? God.
Like, I'll take Spanish, and maybe we can take a trip to Cancun or something.
Hey, look, I'm like my like family lineage like speaks French. You know what I mean? But like, like here though to like learn it, that's fucking gay. If you're planning on going to Canada or something, sure. That's the only place there's manly people who speak French. Not in France. There's some cool Canadians.
The Canucks.
Yeah. The snow.
And like but everybody else hates the French Canadians though. Is the funny part.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly because people hate France in general, so they're just like.
It is. Yeah. But like the people who came to Canada, like the original fucking people came to Canada from like France. It was in like the fucking 1500s and shit. Like it was before the Puritans. Like they've been North American for like longer than any of the rest of us. And they were frontiersy, tough. If you had to be. But yes, the whole France thing really ruins it. Like they didn't want to go back. They hated France. They're like, ew, this is fucking gross, and it's fucking gross ass cities, and it's full of French people. So they're like, fuck it, we'll go to Canada,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. I don't know if I dropped out there. Douche was calling me.
Some douche. This is my boss, so whatever. Let's see here.
Sorry, I had to piss.
So I saw this funny like Reddit's always funny, but this was particularly funny because this is about a game called Victoria 3, and I've never heard of this game, but apparently, so this is particularly like what we were talking about earlier. This guy's like talking about the game, and they're like, immigrants come to my country just to collect welfare. I'm playing as Finland. I had the highest SOL. I don't know what that is. But GDP per capita in the world, and barely anyone was collecting welfare. So I enacted multiculturalism, and immigrants flooded my country, but they don't want to work. They just want to collect welfare, which is making me go bankrupt.
Standard of living is SOL.
Oh, standard of living. Gotcha. I wasn't like thinking about it. It says, do you have jobs for them? Yes, but buildings can't hire because of high wage demands. Like Stellaris turns you into genocidal, cannibalistic hive mind. Crusader Kings 3 turns you into fratricidal, feudal tyrant. Victoria 3 turns you into a Republican. LOL. Try reducing the welfare payments so that it makes financial sense for immigrants to work in your factories. Thank you. I downgraded the Social Security institution to the minimum, and now my immigrants are working.
Just stop giving these motherfuckers free money. Well, and the fucked up thing about here is, have you seen the stuff about like what's going on in Ohio, like not just in Springfield, but in other like small towns in Ohio? Is they're coming in and the factories and stuff are like laying off and firing the white people and hiring the Haitians because the Haitians will take less, but then the Haitians are also receiving like government payments and stuff, so like they can afford to take less of a salary because they're already getting the money anyway.
Right.
Like,
well, it's just like that factory worker, like the factory manager, the factory manager that got like really viral for saying like, oh, I'd take a million more of them or whatever. Like, I don't want, I need 100 more of these guys because they work harder than any American. All those other ones, they're drugged out. They don't do anything and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, I take 100 more of these Haitian guys because they just work. And it's like, yeah, because like you're paying them less, so they're having to work more to get what they would have, and then they're still collecting benefits, and you're not having to pay that. Like that's
that 68 IQ thing probably doesn't hurt. It's like, I mean, what else are they gonna do? They're gonna do menial labor.
What's the task? Yeah,
that's. I know. I've talked about.
No, they're doing heart surgery in the back. You're
right. I hired a bunch of folks for like temp labor when I worked down in Mississippi, and one day the plant manager came in and he's like, Justin, I think that dude might be an idiot. I said, yes. I said, he's absolutely an idiot. I said, but if I tell him to dig a hole to China, he's going to stand out there and dig that fucking hole until either it hits China or I go tell him to do something else. I was like, I don't have to worry about him asking questions. Like, low IQ is, I got enough chiefs around here. I need more fucking Indians. And he was, and the manager was like, oh, huh? I didn't really think about that. I was like, yeah, I don't need to hire a bunch of fucking rocket scientists. At some point, I just need to hire a bunch of, like, 70 IQ morons that it doesn't matter what I tell them to do. They're just going to go fucking do it. Sometimes there is a huge benefit to having a bunch of retards around.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.